Hey guys, this is Steph, and I'm just your everyday gal, your average introvert that's just trying to get out there, be a little bit more bold, do some things that I find scary, and level up my skills when it comes to conversations and presentations and that sort of thing. So my job, my day job, what I do every day is presentations. So this is an area where I've been really putting a lot of work and time into getting better and better at that. And a funny thing is that so many people that I think would be fantastic presenters, they always tell me that they could never do what I do because they would get so nervous. When they see me up on stage with an audience, it's just too much for them. The thought of that is just too much stress, too overwhelming, and the nerves would just be too much, which is silly because everyone has nerves. And I think anyone can really become good at presenting, and you can learn to get more confident and overcome those nerves. I don't think they'll ever go away. Maybe some people truly do have that level of confidence, but I always do experience some nerves, but I'm able to keep them better under control the better I get with my presentations and the better that I prepare. So these are my tips. This is what works for me and has allowed me to be more successful at controlling my nerves and nailing my presentations, which is what we all want to do. All right, so my first tip, and this one should sort of go without saying, is to know your stuff backwards and forwards. Know it cold. Because if you're nervous and you're sort of thinking you may not know what to say or you don't know what's coming next, that's just going to increase your level of agitation and it's going to increase your nerves. It's going to make you nervous. Don't be in that position. I would even take it a step farther. So once you've got your presentation down cold, practice starting from different points. Start from the middle, jump in from here, pick it up from there, so that anywhere that you need to jump in, you can do it. Then have someone start throwing some curveballs at you. Really mix it up. I mean, honestly, if you're presenting at work or a professional conference, no one's going to heckle you. You might get some questions or some tough questions, but you're not going to have a heckler. So get that spouse, get that friend, get someone to actively try to distract you while you're presenting, and then anything else will be a piece of cake. So just get it down cold and then take it to that next level where nothing is going to bother you. The next thing that I find important is to always make sure before you have your presentation, you have some downtime. So if you're going to a location to present, get there early so that you can really get a feel for your surroundings, know where you're supposed to go. The last thing you want is to feel frantic, like you don't know what's happening with the setup, you don't know where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do. I am a last minute person. I am not the most organized person, but when it comes to this type of thing, when it comes to a presentation, I will be the first person there because I want to make sure that I'm not stressing at the last minute. So get there early. Don't schedule anything else right before your presentation. Build in that downtime. You need it. You need to have that time to be calm and to relax and to really prepare. Make sure you always do that. Now, the other thing that you're going to be doing constantly all that day of your presentation and leading up to that presentation is mental prep. You are going to pump yourself up. Do not allow yourself any negative thought. If you start thinking things like, I always mess up, or I don't know if this is going to be good, oh, I'm so nervous, you stop yourself immediately and you give yourself some positive encouragement. If anyone were in my head before I do a presentation, they would think I'm nuts because I'm just saying things like, I'm going to kill this presentation. This is going to be the best presentation of the day. I'm the best presenter in the world. And look, obviously I've got a long ways to go, but you need to get your mind in that state where you are confident. So if you feel that you're veering off into any of that sort of negative self-speak, self-talk, cut it off and pump yourself up. Be your number one biggest fan because you need to go in there with that level of confidence if you're going to really deliver the presentation that you want. So don't let any of that sneak in there. The other thing I like to do when it comes to mentally preparing, and some of my coworkers who have been with me before I've done a big presentation will attest to this because I've made them do it with me, is I like to do some power poses So if you look up, if you're not familiar with power poses, there is a fantastic talk by Amy Cuddy where she talks about just the power of body language and power poses and how that can really just impact how you perform, how you come across. There's a physiological response that really occurs with these things. So it's all about body language. So my favorite power pose, I like to just do, the hands on the hips, take up some space, just stand there. Sometimes I put the hands up. Just know before any big presentation, I am back there and I am power posing and I am feeling no shame, and it is only making me better. I really encourage this. I think it's fantastic. It goes along with just that whole mental positivity that you want to pump yourself up with. So give yourself that mental pep talk, power pose, and you will be ready. So the last tip I will give is more around the delivery. So when you're practicing, there's a lot of things on your mind. You might be thinking, don't say this word, make sure you're using the space on the stage. I want to do this with the clicker. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to say this. That's great. When you're practicing, you want to have those things in mind. But when you're actually presenting, now the focus needs to be on the communication. So your focus is on getting the communication to the audience and projecting that intention outward. So don't be thinking inward. Don't think about yourself, what you look like, what you're doing. All your focus has to be on that communication and getting it across to those people that are sitting there wanting to receive it. So if you focus on that, that will help you not be nervous, because the nerves really start to come when you're focusing your attention inward on yourself, on your body. How do you look? How do you sound? Get away from that. You're ready. You've practiced, you've power stanced, you're good to go. Get out there and deliver your message, deliver your communication, and it's going to be fantastic. So that's my last tip. Hopefully these were helpful. If you have any hot tips, let me know, because I am always looking to improve my own presentation skills and I would love to hear them. Thanks so much.